I mean, both button. So I did go to college for some, it's basically software engineering. It was called computer information systems when I got the degree, but that degree doesn't exist anymore. At least at the place where I went to school. Here, we'll get a little more personable. Let me sort this shit real quick. I'm probably gonna wrap it up here in just a little bit, so I won't bother getting another battle going. Thank you to everybody that has participated with it, though. It's been fun. I like having it as a nice. Oh, I forgot I can make it force quit. It's a nice distraction to have. It keeps me from going in circles or chasing my tail too much. Yeah, Lamenti did it. I have a bachelor's. Let's see here. How bad is the lighting? That's not too bad. All right.
JK, I'm dumb F.
Yeah, he's not dumb. He's just not a programmer. Which many programmers can be dumb as well. So yes, hello, hi. So I went to college for like 10 or 11 years because I couldn't get my shit together. Had a lot of problems adulting and just being responsible in general. It was definitely always about computer stuff, like software related, networking related, whatever. I wound up coming out the other end. Before I had graduated, like I said, I took me a long time. I had dropped out once, I had flunked out once. The third time was the charm, I suppose. Started taking evening classes and sort of paced it, more what I was comfortable with. Because it was, a liberal arts degree, so it wasn't just only the shit that I was interested in, which was the programming stuff. I also had, English composition and rhetoric and math courses that I definitely don't use in any of my programming, and they really challenged me because I have issues with math in general. I bring this up occasionally, at least, and I know I have it as a tag, but yeah, I've got pretty severe ADD. I don't medicate. I choose to try to, steer it myself and just accept that that's, hello, Carcer, thank you for the follow, and accept that that's how I am. It has its issues, but when I had been on the medication, it sort of like removed all of my emotional capacity. And plus you're on like speed every single day, which I don't feel is probably very good for your body. But anyway, and yeah, said ADD has already talked me away from my original point. Bachelor's degree, there we go. Okay, I caught the thread there. I came out of it with a software engineering style bachelor degree. Tons of crack, yeah, that's really what, I shouldn't blame it on the ADD, it's the crack. He's a moderator, that's why he can use that command, but you can access that command with channel points yourself. Anyway, the bachelor's degree, I had already been interested in programming since I was like 12 years old. And I'm not saying you have to start early at all. I know people who have only gotten into it since they've become an adult, and they're, in their 30s or 40s. And it's more about like thinking logically, and you can be taught or learn all the rest of that shit. And you can even be taught to think logically. I think that was a big advantage of going to college for it, was that's what they leaned on, rather than like if you were to go to a boot camp, they're more focused on the structural aspects of a language or an application stack or something like that, and just like getting your feet on the ground and running as quickly as possible, without maybe considering any of the underlying stuff that you're building on top of, or understanding algorithms, algorithmic complexity, this kind of thing. Like you're really just supposed to be getting in there and writing fucking code like right away and building stuff, which is awesome. It's just you need to keep that in mind, I guess. But anyway, I'm probably all over the map here. I don't even know necessarily why or what direction you wanted me to go in with that question. So if you would like me to elaborate on anything further, please let me know. Oh shit, let's see. Gudei Toto, thank you for the follow. Yeah, game dev, I would assume it has similar advantages and disadvantages, but She missed Deviant. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh man, if you hadn't, you know, I mean, actually, I don't think those kinds of things exist, like learning to play guitar or whatever else. Like, it's, yeah, so what? Okay, you're 50 years old. Who gives a shit? If you want to learn it, go learn it. Anybody who tells you that, oh, you're too old to, you know, start XYZ is full of horse shit. They hate themselves and they hate their life and they're not a happy person and you shouldn't listen to them in the first place. So fuck those people. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, and I mean, Lamenti like just started his IT career here recently, you know? I guess there's no reason why you can't. This shit changes almost completely every couple of years regardless. I mean, like, I think, again, with programming, there's that underlying, like, if you can think logically and you know algorithmic structure and things like that, that's great and that will always be helpful. But everything that you build with on top of that is a fucking river and it never stops flowing. Maybe if you work at a bank and you're like programming in COBOL or Fortran or some shit like that, you don't have to worry so much about keeping up. Maybe you just have to worry about, you know, the year 2038 problem or whatever it is now. Which is not small. I'm not trying to talk shit on that, and there's really good money in that as well. But yeah, like here, most of my stream here has been me blowing up this project because I tried to upgrade it to Python 3.10. That's, no, you're not wrong. It's the advantage of being young and not having as many responsibilities is huge. And so, yeah, don't discount that. I mean, it's much more of a struggle when you're older. I just mean that people say it as if, like, old dogs can't learn new tricks kind of shit. Or like, no, that's going to take you forever to become a maestro or whatever. It's like, well, you don't really need to be that anyway. And who knows what your inherent capacity for doing this kind of stuff is until you get in there and do it. You might find out that you have a knack for it, or you have a knack even for an area of it that somebody didn't expect. Because this is so fucking broad. Programming or software or computers, like that's the entire goddamn world at this point. I don't know how to do a lot of the stuff that my buddy does for the government, doing GIS stuff, like geographical information systems. So he works with maps and coordinates and vectors and all this kind of stuff. And that's a whole area of programming that I have absolutely nothing to do with and likely never will. I mean, I did briefly, like on one tiny project that looked at the outlines of the shapes of the United States, you know, like the states in the US. But other than that, it's just not something I'm at all adjacent to. But that exists out there. There's like a whole fucking career path for you if that's what you want to do. And that is technically software development. So, you know, it's an enormous tent / umbrella / whatever metaphor you want to use for that kind of shit. Oh, my windows are getting all out of whack. Yeah, and that's the thing about old dogs is, yeah, you've also got life experience, and even if you haven't had a programming job, you can learn work ethic damn near anywhere, and work ethic is just as important in this industry as it is anywhere else. Yeah, you don't bring nothing to the table, that's for damn sure. Oh, it's finally starting to cool off. I might have to turn that fan off and shut the window. I'm getting a little like... I'm skinny, so I shake a bit when it's chilly. I suppose I'd quit being a dumbass and put my sleeves down. Anyway, I didn't notice that I'm like mirror back here. That's a little odd. I'll get away from this scene. But yes, good talk, people. I mean, I'm a team lead where I work, and so I try to encourage people to, you know, go learn things. And I try to teach people the things that I learn. It's, you know, I started out at the bottom as a student worker. I was hired as a student worker and then parlayed that eventually into a job at the college that I graduated from. I'm still working there. But I'm a team lead now, and I've, you know, tried not to just bring the ladder up with me when I got up there. I'm trying to help other people get to that point. We've got a feller that's going to start here in a week, you know, that he is a career auto mechanic, but he had been doing programming stuff in his free time. What little of it he did have available, you know, and found out that he was very passionate about that, and now that's going to be his job. And he's not like a college-aged person. He's around my age, and I'm 39.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, and at the same time, it's I'm also interested in video games. I'm not personally trying to make a career out of it, so, you know, you got to decide, like, what level of passion, what level of risk are we talking about? Because you can do quite a lot with video games nowadays that doesn't have to be your day job either. And to be perfectly honest, it being your day job may suck all of the passion out of you that you have for it, from what I've heard about the gaming industry as of late. And if you're female, then even more so. It's a fucking cesspool of misogyny and harassment. But nonetheless, yeah, I did say feller very much on purpose. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's a tough one, which really sucks, man, because there's nothing inherently male or female or anything about video games. It's like saying painting is, you know, manly or girly or whatever. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But that's the way I think it's mostly because the easiest mechanic to convey action in some kind of game setting is usually violence. It's almost always, like, probably the vast majority of video games that have ever been made are in some way, even if it's cartoonish and like childish, they're violent. They're about blowing things up or hitting things or colliding with something else, or, you know, whatever it is. But that's because we're people and we're tactile and yada yada. But I don't know. Read into that what you will. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, not about whether or not other people care about it. It's if you care about it. I mean, I really only give a shit if other people care about it in terms of, like, are people going to play this game, I guess. But even then, I don't know that I do, because it's been stuck in my head since, in one form or another, the engine I'm building right now has been stuck in my head since I was like 13 or 14 years old. And it's just like, I have to make the thing. If people play it, that would be awesome. But even then, it's like I didn't have a choice. I have to build the thing. My brain is not going to leave me alone until I can see at least some rough cut representation of what it's going to look like, you know, as a real engine. I don't know, I'm babbling now. I probably need to get some food.